spot representing CONCACAF in the Under-17 Women's World Cup.
Well, and essentially the third place game kind of ends up being the championship because that team needs to win to go on.
Canada is making 2 substitutions. Nahida Balbaki and Camila Gomez are coming on.
And again, just to elaborate for a brief second on what we were talking about before the start of the second half, because of the way the system works, as you said, that third place winner does also make it to the tournament. So it makes that third place match very important with the championship teams, the first and second place already knowing they've booked their ticket to that World Cup.
Looks like Caitlin Shaw and Jade Riviere will be the 2 players subbed off by Bev Priestman. And 11, Camila Gomez. And 4, Nahida Balbaki will go in. Now the second half is underway. Bev Priestman opting to use 2 of her 3 substitutions right now.
Right at the start of the second half. And again, we have Lizzie-Ann Pruill still out there in goal. So she must feel confident in her ability in the position after taking that knock to the head earlier to use those other 2 substitutes right at the start of the second half here. And still no Kennedy Faulkner in that back line, so we're not sure if she's completely unavailable or just not playing this afternoon or this evening, but she's normally a key piece on that back line.
You just saw a shot of Nahida Balbaki, who had a goal and an assist in the group stage against Grenada. She's 16 years old, from Montreal. Has that got nervy in the box for Lizzie-Ann Pruill and Canada's defense? There's the other substitution, Camila Gomez for Jade Riviere. Gomez, that is from British Columbia. Born in Bogota, Colombia, now lives in Coquitlam, British Columbia, 15 years old. And an assist at a group stage game against Grenada. In the attacking half, possession for the United States. We did not make any changes. Brianna Pinto nudges it forward. Jordan Caniff had it taken off her feet. And there's Gomez. That ball didn't go all the way over the touchline. Good work by the AR, but a giveaway here by Canada. Brianna Pinto wins the ball after Ashley Cathro lost possession. Pinto will backheel it up the byline. And again held in the attacking third. Kennedy Wesley puts in a cross far post. Back to Sanchez from Spanstra.
Somehow that ball bounced in the 18-yard box. Nobody on offense or defense getting to it before the bounce. Canada once again struggling early defensively to possess the ball, get it out of their own defensive third of the field. It's almost as if the second they try to play the ball out or receive the ball with their back to the offensive side of things, they can hear the footsteps of the U.S. players, just that high pressure forcing Canada into these turnovers.
Pruill plays it out of the back. Almost given away. That ball into space. Grosso barely able to run onto the end of it, but eventually now the United States has it with numbers pressing forward. Laid off to the right. Spanstra crosses, back post. Sanchez heads it right in front. Oh, and Caniff mishits. Otherwise, she's got a brace, and it's a 3-goal lead for the U.S. So close.
2 players for the United States wide open on that far post. First, we get one cross going this direction. Sanchez easily able to head it. And then 2 players on the opposite post. As the ball comes back across, Sanchez does a tremendous job going back the other way, trying to find her teammates. But again, Canada really not sharp to start this second half. Coming out with Legs looking a little bit heavy, lacking possession and composure on the ball. We'll see if they can get it together.
This is very similar to the opening few minutes of the first half. Rosso wins it back. Caniff closes her down.
That's where they need to possess, right there.
And Gomez does possess. Jordan Heidemann played a ball back. Now Shayna Flynn. And out off her line, and another big collision involving a goalkeeper. We saw it happen to Canada's Lisiane Prue in the first half. And Laurel Ivory comes out off her line and is slow to get up to her feet.
Very similar in the sense that a goalkeeper doing her job coming off her line, the attacking player doing her job as well. Just trying to play this ball 50-50. You see the shielding going on by the defender Wiesner. And a collision with the goalkeeper. I mean, truly a clean play on both sides. Similar to the one we saw earlier. Everybody just trying to do their job, but definitely some contact. It actually looked like Wiesner might have knocked her own goalkeeper out intentionally a little bit there.
You're right. Almost an opportunity. It could be an opportunity here for Coleman. Oh, nice layoff back to Sanchez. Trying to chip the keeper as Prue was just a little bit off her line, but can't tuck it in behind her.
She did. She saw the keeper off her line. Look at that. She slipped a little bit at the end there. Tries to get some backspin on it and pick out that upper corner. Love to see, though, that these players have the ability to score in different ways. They can dribble, they can combine, she can shoot a laser, or she can chip the keeper if she needs to. Use a little finesse.
If you haven't seen the second and third goals for Mexico, to speak to your point, the skill displayed on those goals from the earlier semifinal today, find an opportunity to go seek out those highlights. Two very well-taken chances. The second and third goals today for Mexico in their 3-0 win over Haiti. Mexico will play the winner of this match in the championship of this under-17 tournament. But again, both teams will only be playing for the pride of winning the Federation Championship. By reaching the final, that will already ensure a spot in the under-17 Women's World Cup. Flag goes up here offside, the United States in the 52nd minute.
U.S. testing that back line. Those overlapping runs. Ooh, that's pretty close. It's tough to tell from that camera angle. Maybe a half a step offside. But U.S. aggressive once again to start the second half here.
Defensively, the United States allowed 4 shots per contest in the group stage. Only 2 shots by Canada so far today. So following form in terms of the work by the back line in front of the keeper, Laurel Ivory. Just 2 shots, by the way, for Canada. They averaged 24 shots in going through Group A as the runners-up. So the United States defensive work certainly really rising to this particular occasion.
Well, and it really has started all the way with the forwards. The pressure they've been able to put on Canada's back line, the midfield has been solid as well. They're really defending cohesively as a group, front to back.
Wiesner to put the ball in play. Fell to Coleman. Out into space here for Kennedy Wesley. And Wesley and across, bid in front. What a finish! Savannah Coleman makes it 3-0 to the United States.
That is just all about not giving up on the play. As we take a look at those United States fans that made the trip, I think Wesley is shooting this ball, maybe mishit it. It's bending. Going to go out of bounds. The Canadian back line kind of giving up on it, clearly not marking up. Again, 2 U.S. players behind that back line. Coleman and Sanchez. I mean, she hits it in with her knee. She's just doing anything she can to get a body part on it and give the U.S. another goal here early in the second half.
Stretching out for a finish off the knee. Pinballs in, United States scoring in the 54th minute to grab a 3-goal lead for Savannah Coleman. She had 2 goals against Jamaica. At the under-17 level, this is her 10th cap and her 7th goal.
Well, she played in the last tournament for the U-17s as a 14-year-old, so she's very familiar with this tournament.
All 3 of her goals in the tournament have been scored in the second half. Spanstra, Caniff, and Coleman, the goal scorers. Here's one more look. Kennedy Wesley's going to have herself her 2nd assist of the game as well. 2nd
assist on that one. I still might be convinced that she was taking a shot, but it doesn't matter. The point is her teammates didn't give up on it. Even if Lysiane Prue had to make a save, they were there for a rebound. They were there for a follow-up, not giving up on the play. And the Canada back line just caught a little bit off guard there, allowing players to get in behind, not staying goal side.
Great run to the back post by Coleman. And Littleton, Colorado can celebrate a goal for Coleman. And a warm-up to this for the United States. The NTC tournament in Southern California. Coleman scored twice against England. Kendra mentioned that she played in the last cycle for the under-17s as a 14-year-old and scored 2 goals then. So when it comes to finishing, she is a natural based on past performances, and if there were any doubt, that goal would certainly put it to rest. It was a great finish.
I think what's really been impressive about this U.S. team throughout the tournament is they clearly have a lot of talent, technical ability, tactical ability. They work on their skill set, but they work so hard, and they work hard as a group. They're not expecting anything to come naturally. They're working hard for what they're getting.
And Coleman is going to be on the end of another one. Coleman with just one defender back, and a shot rises over the top. Only Ashley Cathro and the keeper, Lysiane Prue, stood between Coleman's 2nd and mere minutes.
And just a slip up right there by the defender allows Coleman almost in on a breakaway there. Prue did a good job maybe to come off her line just enough to force her to hit that shot over the crossbar.
Balbaki lost possession. Back pass to Samantha Chang. Chang plays it up the right flank. Last touch for the United States. Canada's got to start going for it now. Naomi Girma. Brought down by Coleman. Remember, for Canada, they will have another opportunity, and it could be a rematch of the final match of Group A between Canada and Haiti, won by the Haitians on 2 late goals after the 80th minute on both.
And it could be a rematch for the United States against Mexico. You mentioned that, of course, that match, both teams already making it into the World Cup, but nonetheless, you would think Mexico may have a little bit of redemption on their mind, just like Canada may against Haiti, if this result holds here today, a 3-0 or a U.S. win.
Emma Regan to put it in play. This could be an opportunity here for Canada with a throw in the attacking third. Heidema to the back post and over. And remember, we talked with Bev Priestman earlier this week, Canada's head coach. She was really excited about this opportunity for an open game.
She was really excited for the opportunity to play an open style in the sense that it wasn't going to be against a team that was packing it in inside the 18-yard box, but sometimes you have to be careful what you wish for, because she got the complete opposite in a United States team that high presses. They do it as a group, they do it together, and they force Canada into a lot of turnovers early on, and they were able to capitalize. And maybe mentally it was a tough challenge for them to come back from that loss against Haiti. A game in which possession-wise they dominated. They had that 1-0 lead themselves late in the game, and they gave up the 2 late goals. Pretty deflating mentally and emotionally to come back from that.
The last on a penalty. Ashley Sanchez.
On paper, you would think Canada had most of the advantage, as Sanchez, again, doing her work.
And Sanchez looking to play a ball back.
Canada played some of their games at night, under the lights, cooler conditions, had an extra day of rest compared to the United States. Were able to rest most of their entire team in the Grenada game, or at least a lot of the starters. But the U.S. just came into this one ready and raring to go right from that first whistle.
Third corner in the match for the United States. Struck with the right foot. Outswinger for Brianna Pinto. Bicycled overhead by Savannah Coleman. And so far today, Group B is standing out through one match and an hour of the second. And it was clear from the draw, and BJ Snow told us earlier this week, that Group B was as difficult of a group as you could possibly imagine for this tournament at this level.
Well, and I think that could end up benefiting him, and maybe it did in this game, just in the sense that he had some tougher competition. He was forced to switch up his tactics, keep their scheme and their plan, their unpredictability alive, so they could be successful in that group stage. No easy games, that Jamaica game even. The start of it, that first half was a challenge for the United States to be able to find the back of the net.
And Jamaica scored in the first half as well. The only goal that the United States has conceded in the tournament. Now they've gone 300 minutes since without allowing a goal. And by the way, that goal, as BJ Snow was very quick to inform us of this week, was offside.
I understand his feeling on that, but nonetheless, it was a pretty solid, beautiful goal there by Shayla Smart. She made the defense for the U.S. pay. She was maybe a hair offside on that play.
Oh, and Coleman is able to keep this in play. Ball checked up before it rolled over the byline. But Lizianne Prue off her line to read that ball back with Ashley Sanchez lurking in front. Quarter hour, just a little bit over that into the second half. Savannah Coleman added the only score for the United States in the second half. 53rd minute goal. Joining up with the 2 the U.S. scored in the first half. And one of them is number 17 right there, who had the ball for a moment, Alexis Spanstra. Ibrahim. No one on the end of it for Canada. Just played harmlessly into the box to Laurel Ivory.
You could see a flash there of Canada, the ability to possess, to move the ball forward, and then it stalls. When they do get in that final third of the field, they need somebody and a couple players, not just one, to take on that challenge of making the run off the ball, getting forward, not just assuming that you're going to have to defend shortly. They're lacking that creativity in that final third when they do get there.
Heidema is the player for Canada, pressing up high right now. We just saw some more of Canada's potential substitutes warming up. Remember, Bev Priestman only has one available. She used 2 right at the start of the second half. BJ Snow's got all 3 of his changes still to make, if he chooses to do so. Caniff and Ashley Cathro going after it. Ed Priestman, the Canada coach, grew up just outside of Newcastle in England. Came to Canada from a position with New Zealand's Football Association as a director of development. And the head coach for Canada's under-17s at 29 years old, by the way. B.J. Snow, the United States coach, 39 years old, from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Played collegiately at Indiana. Coached collegiately before this position at UCLA. Possession still for the United States. Now Canada wins the ball. Ibrahim and Camila Gomez had touches. Stratigakis brought it all the way across. Samantha Chang.
There's a good switch. They can keep moving it forward.
Move the point of attack from the left-hand side to the right. But then Emma Regan trying to slide a ball through. And the attack for Canada, their opportunity to go forward fizzles.
When it started in the midfield there, Stratigakis did a good job keeping possession. They move it outside, they swing it back around, have a nice switch field, and then just too much on that final pass. But at least Canada finally had numbers inside the box. So if that pass had been completed to that right flank and they were able to serve the ball in, they did have numbers in the box there. So again, it's just that final third, finding a way to connect. But you kind of heard the groan, right? I think it came from the crowd, from the fans, but you could even see the body language of the players that were all in the box, ready for that ball. They can just feel it.
Grenada Athletic Stadium, Mark Followill, Kindred Day St. Alban. 3 goals scored so far by the United States. Alexis Spanstra in the 33rd minute, Jordan Caniff in first half stoppage time. And Savannah Coleman officially in the 54th minute for her goal. 3 goals, approximately 20 minutes apart for the United States in Grenada, inching ever closer to a return to the Under-17 Women's World Cup, a tournament they did not participate in, didn't qualify in 2014. They were in a group of death in 2012 and didn't get out of group because of former champions North Korea and France being in their group. Didn't qualify in 2010. Runners-up to North Korea in the inaugural Under-17 Women's World Cup in 2008. Brianna Pinto, the player for the United States, number 8 going down. From a few yards inside the halfway line, Karina Rodriguez from Torrance, California, ready to restart play. There's Kennedy Wesley, number 15, with the touch. What a performance she's had tonight. 2 crosses put into the box to set up goals. 2 assists for Kennedy Wesley. Big intervention there by Canada, by Julia Grosso. Otherwise, you had Caniff in space on the right. Jordan Heidema for Canada. Here comes the high press from Sanchez. Sanchez takes it off the feet of Samantha Chang. She's got Coleman as an option. Nice turn by Pinto. Layoff back to Sanchez. Coleman floats it up. This is going to settle for Jordan Caniff. And Prue reads it at the back post.
Well, it was a little bit of a misplayed ball there by Sanchez into Coleman. She missed her feet, but you could see what she was doing. Before she even finished making that pass, she already started to make her run for a give and go. And that's something the United States has been really successful at the entire tournament. anticipating the movement off the ball. They're making their runs off the ball before it even needs to be made, finding that open space to be available for their teammates. And I think that's a huge part of their success, something that Canada is struggling with now on their offensive side.
Here's Kennedy Wesley again. By the way, if you believe in birthday presents, and who doesn't, Kennedy Wesley, today's match certainly is a great birthday present for her because she just turned 15 years old on Tuesday. From Rossmore, California. And 2 assists on the first and third goals today for the United States. '70th minute of the match. The U.S. has pressed and displayed a great work rate today. There are moments when you wonder if fatigue is starting to creep in just a little bit. Remember, there have not been any substitutions made by B.J. Snow, and as you accurately pointed out earlier, Kendra, Canada did have 1 extra day for recuperation between their last group game in Group A and the United States' final game Tuesday in Group B.
Well, and BJ said they really had a complete day of rest and recovery on Wednesday, and then we're right back to the grind on Thursday. Meetings, film, training sessions. So a quick turnaround again for them. Not quite as quick as the group stage games, but nonetheless, really 1 full day of rest and recovery.
We also spoke with him before the tournament, and they were planning to go down approximately a week before the opening to begin to practice in the heat and to acclimatize themselves to the difficult conditions. A lot of heat, a lot of humidity in Grenada, obviously. Ibrahim trying to bring it down. Heavy touch, possession for the U.S. Jalen Howell flicks it back to Wesley. Howell was part of the buildup. Won't be on the score sheet, but she was a key part of the buildup of the second goal, by the way, for the U.S. That goal was scored when Jordan Caniff put in a rebound after the initial shot attempt by Savannah Coleman was saved. How impressed are you today, by the way, with Caniff, given her lack of activity? Only 45 minutes, just the second half of Costa Rica. That's all she played in group stage. We noted earlier, 14 years old, but has certainly looked the part. There's no doubt about that in her performance today.
Well, and even at her age, I know we talk about a lot of these youngsters playing up, and we're going to see Caniff coming out of the match now, but she deserves a standing ovation for her effort on the outside. She's 14 years old, getting in on the attack, defensively solid, taking players 1v1 as we see Izzy Rodriguez coming into the United States here in the 72nd minute. Very impressed with Caniff, but this entire roster for the United States has gotten better and better every single match. Playing more cohesive, getting those nerves, settling down a little bit, following their game plan. And I think that's really just a credit to the young ladies on this team and the coaching staff getting them prepared.
That's always how you put it on the drawing board going into tournament play, is to gradually be able to get better. Of course, easier said than done, but to gradually build up to the knockout stage and clearly in these one-and-done situations be playing your best.
One, especially at a youth level where it is so much adrenaline. This is the first international tournament for so many of these players. You just never know what that's going to be like. Keeping your emotions in check, keeping it on a level playing field for those emotions. And they've really managed to do that.
As you saw a moment ago, Izzy Rodriguez, number 11, came on. The first change today for B.J. Snow. Cleared by Prue. Held in the attacking third with a leaning header forward by Wesley, but now back to Lizianne Prue, Canada's keeper. For Izzy Rodriguez, she also played 1 game in group. It was a 21-minute substitute appearance against Costa Rica. So more chances for her to play in a high-leverage match situation. Rodriguez dealt with the ball for the United States that was getting close to the area. Now one is sent in. Jordan Heidema rises to win a header. This falls to ground and is headed back by Kennedy Wesley. Big defensive touch by Wesley. This will be the last change now for Canada. Vital Katz coming on. Her 7th Canada youth appearance. 1 goal in the opening match of group play for her against Guatemala. Anissa Ibrahim comes off. Katz, one of the numerous players that we mentioned earlier, had opportunities to play for Canada and the under-20s in December.
Well, and unfortunately for us, we didn't really get to see the full ability of Anissa Ibrahim up top. She's such a talented striker up there, and a lot of these Canadian players that are so good on the attack, they just haven't even had the opportunity to see what they're capable of with the United States defending the way they have been.
Which has followed form throughout the tournament, the United States defending. Final quarter hour now, just 15 minutes stand between the U.S. and assuring themselves of a spot in Jordan when the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup starts September 30th. Frankie Tagliaferri is about to come on now for the United States, we understand. First a set-piece opportunity here for Canada. They haven't had many of these dead ball chances today, but Sarah Stratigakis is over this free kick as they look to pull one back. Just drives the ball wide.
And she's a good 40 yards out on that effort. It seemed like she may have been going for goal, but her whole team was lined up right on the edge of the 18-yard box looking for a ball possibly served in over the top. And again, a missed opportunity there for Canada.
Applause for Ashley Sanchez as she subbed out. And in the 77th minute, coming on is Frankie Tagliaferri, 17 years old from Colts Neck, New Jersey. He scored 4 goals for the U.S. in the rout of Jamaica. All 4 of those goals scored in the second half when she came on as a substitute.
Second half, I think after the 70-something minute, I mean, it was unbelievable. And some of her goals were pure effort, being in the right place at the right time, making some really fabulous runs. Her teammates finding her.
That's what goal scorers do, be in the right place at the right time.
Well, the one, she literally went the length of the field off of a corner kick that was cleared by her defense. Took it the distance herself.
Good turn there by Stratigakis, but closed down quickly by Pinto and Jalen Howell, the 2 D-mids for the United States. Even though Howell has been getting forward in some situations tonight.
You can see right there, they wanted a handball just on the edge of the box, possibly inside the 18. And I think they had a good argument there. Could have been a penalty kick situation.
Surprised there weren't more shouts. You only saw the 1 player for Canada.
But I think it was one of those things, too. The ball still stayed in the relative dangerous area. Canada trying to keep playing offensively. The United States trying to still clear it. Can't stand around and yell about it too much.
Samantha Chang with possession for Canada. Again, if the result stands, the U.S. qualifies for the Under-17 Women's World Cup. The qualifying process is going on right now, that is, in South America, also in Africa. UEFA won't have their qualifying tournament until May.
With very few whistles on the run of play today. It's been a really good, solid, physical match, but clean. Not a lot of dead balls and whistles in the run of play.
Canada's had 2 free kick opportunities, 1 in each half. The United States has only had 1. Ball scooped up by Julia Grosso. Almost fell to Stratigakis. Then just a good, sound defensive clearance by Jalen Howell. Space to operate here for Julia Grosso. Grosso will go at goal from distance, but it will bend wide.
Well, she's had her work cut out for her today defensively, but she does a good job there, making a nice little speed move, knocking the ball around the defender, and then just decides to take it herself. But why not? You go the distance. Just misses that one wide left.
Had some pace on the shot, just didn't have the accuracy to get it on target. Coleman trying to work the ball into space for Kate Wiesner. Nicely played back to Wiesner. Again, trying to link up with Coleman. Approaching 80 minutes played in the semifinal. Approaching the 80th minute and having a 3-goal lead, obviously hanging on to that advantage is the far most likely scenario. So how do you think, looking ahead, the United States would approach the championship with a spot in the World Cup determined, which of course is the ultimate goal, but still having a chance to have the pride of being champions of your federation?
Well, quite honestly, I don't see any letdown from the United States. I don't see a change in tactic. I don't see a change in mentality. Everybody on this United States team completely capable of starting and playing a match. We've seen it. But they have come out with the same energy, the same commitment, the same mindset every single game, regardless of the opponent. And Vital Katz looks like she may be a little bit injured, but she was the one with the takedown there of Naomi Girma, but now she's holding that ankle, and I don't believe they have any substitutes.
No, they're done.
Substitutes left as she's getting looked at here.
Katz, as a matter of fact, was the last change that Bev Priestman made. She was the third change.
And we talk about the United States-Canada being a rivalry game. Well, again, the United States-Mexico, very much the same.
While Vital Katz is being looked at by the medical staff for Canada, let's look back to the scores tonight. The first goal was in the 33rd minute. Great side volley goal by Alexis Spanstra.
Well, and a nice ball served in from that right flank. A one-touch volley. Look at that ball right in. And then this is another one. How about right off the knee? Why not? 2 assists for Wesley tonight.
Once again, Spanstra scored the first off a rebound. Jordan Caniff with the second. And Wesley, and off the knee, Savannah Coleman sliding in with a great finish.
Everybody says it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to go back in the net. Whether you do it with your stomach, your knee, doesn't matter as long as it goes in. It's really all about the effort. On those crosses, the players from the United States making the effort to get in the box and get on the end of it and finish.
Vital Katz is off to the side now, number 12 for Canada. You can see her right in front of the Scotiabank sign. I don't think the assistant referee is prepared to let her back on just yet. Now she will. So Canada back at full strength again after Katz was looked at by the medical staff and off to the side for a few seconds. The United States still has one more change that they can make. Back pass to Laurel Ivory. Well-struck ball all the way to the halfway line. And as play is stopped, the final United States substitution is coming here. We see that Sophia Smith is going to come on now. And Savannah Coleman, the scorer of the third goal, is coming off. Sophia Smith, 15 years old, from Windsor, Colorado, has 3 assists. She hasn't scored in the tournament, but 3 assists and a goal for the United States in the warm-up, the run-up to this tournament, the NTC tournament that we've talked about in Southern California in early February.
Well, and Sophia Smith has really been electric. Every time she's been on the field, she was part of that combination play with Tagliaferri in that first game. They did a good job finding each other, but same kind of a skill set. She's got that speed, the ability to take players on, cuts inside, takes a shot if she needs to, or can serve the ball across. It's very dangerous when you have multiple players that keep the defense guessing. Are they going to take me one-on-one? Are they going to play it? Are they going to get to the end line? Combination play. So much versatility on this U.S. side.
Kennedy Wesley, part of that versatility with her performance today, 2 assists. Sprays that ball out wide to the right. Grosso with the throw in. Canada trying to get forward here. Sophia Smith with her first touch of the match. Just came on as a substitute for Savannah Coleman. Sophia Smith working her way all across the field from right to left. Almost had a chance to set up Tagliaferri in on goal.
Well, and I was just talking about how you can keep the defense guessing, but sometimes you keep your own defense, your own teammates guessing. When you continue to dribble, they're trying to figure out where you want them to make your run to be available.
The championship on Sunday between the U.S. and Mexico, of course, if this result holds, will be 6 Eastern on FS2. Third place game coverage on FS2 as well on Sunday, which is online to be Canada and Haiti, a rematch of a 2-1 Haiti win in group play. We talked earlier, Kendra, about the United States and what you think their approach will be. For Mexico, who lost to the U.S. 1-0 in the middle match of group stage, what are your thoughts on their approach and what they would need to do to improve upon their play against the United States?
Well, first of all, I think they're going to be riding high off of their 3-0 win over Haiti. They looked really good in that game, scored some nice goals, so they know they have the ability to put it in the back of the net. They did not have the United States figured out. They were so busy defensively, like most opponents, they didn't even have the opportunity to go forward, but have to go forward together, combine. Have to find a way to get that confidence to get out of their own half of the field against the United States.
Well,
offense.
And one thing, Kendra, that when BJ Snow and his staff look at tape, and they'll have to be sure to express this part from a tactical standpoint, is that if Marcarmen Reyes or Montserrat Hernandez have time and space on the ball, that's a problem, because the goals they scored today were both fabulous and from distance, by the way. Tagliaferri, sneaky shot that looked like that was going to be on frame, and Lisiane Prue down to collect it at the near post.
Well, it was tough to say, too, the way she was trying to slot that ball through. If she's going to the near post herself, Wiesner had also made that run in behind the back line, but going back to Mexico, Cazares, too. Look at this. I think that was a little through ball. Look at that. She's trying to find Wiesner's feet. She drew 2 defenders. Saw her teammate open. But Diana Cazares, we didn't see her goal. She scored the first one for Mexico today. She's another handful.
Yeah, that was in the 5th minute of the match, as a matter of fact.
5th minute of the match, and she came off the bench late in the game in the first game against the U.S., and she has that speed and ability to take players on. She is a handful defensively.
Sophia Smith, the defender, trying to close down Samantha Chang. That has been a constant theme today. High press by the United States. And they've won possession again, and they take a shot again from distance. And it is struck just wide. Sophia Smith gave it a go from 30 yards out.
Well, I told you, she is not afraid to take people on. She's got the ball at her feet. Makes a couple cuts. Goes for that right side netting. Just wide.
Great pace on that shot.
Well, now she was playing almost a little bit more up high. She can play out wide to the right. I mean, again, you talk about the versatility and the unpredictability of this United States team that BJ Snow could throw out there.
Stratigakis, left side sets up Julia Grosso. Was trying to go 1v1 at Alexis Spanstra. Jalen Howell couldn't win a ball for the United States. But Canada loses possession. How do you think Bev Priestman feels going into a third-place match where it's all on the line for Canada and a nation that has been to every under-17 Women's World Cup so far? So there is a bar of excellence and a high standard that they have to live up to come Sunday.
Well, and quite honestly, I think she's going to be feeling good in the sense that they're facing Haiti in a redemption game and a little bit of payback for a Canadian team that allowed Haiti to score those 2 goals late and beat them in that final group game. But she's not going to be happy with how her team performed today. That would be my guess. They've got some things to work on, to look at. They almost looked like they were outmatched and beaten from the second they stepped on this field, which we know this Canada side is very talented. It just didn't look quite ready.
Oh, whipping on it outside the box. Now Prue has to get back. Here's Sophia Smith with the final goal today for the United States, a 4th. One more cherry on top of the sundae as they indicate the stoppage time. 4-0 United States, Sophia Smith.
Just as we were wrapping up a bit of a conversation here with how is Bev Priestman going to feel about her team, Lysiane Prue just completely misplaced that ball, tries to one-time it. She had time to take 2 touches. She was not under pressure there. And Sophia Smith, I mean, a high-press U.S. team the entire game. You've got to be clean in the back. And the U.S. made her pay on that one. You could see Priestman, she's immediately clapping, trying to keep her team, the spirits up. She's not hanging her head, but she knows that they've got some things to work on and clean up in the short time, quick turnaround before that third-place match.
Jordan Heidemann tried to play a nice back heel. So Sophia Smith, we commented earlier that she had assists in this tournament but had not scored. But taking advantage of a misplay by the keeper, now she has. Smith with a goal. And what is her 14th under-17 cap for the United States.
Well, it seems fitting that she puts in that effort, high presses, and she does finally get her own goal, because she had several unselfish plays in the previous matches where she did a lot of work on that right side, beating a lot of players, getting to the end line and serving that ball in and finding her teammates.
Set up Spanstra's goal against Costa Rica. And even almost 2 minutes into the 3 minutes of stoppage time, the United States still attacking.
You get the feeling that Canada's kind of wanting to call uncle, right? I mean, the U.S. is not letting up on their pressure. There is no goal differential situation anymore. They're up 4-0 in extra time here. And they are not letting up.
Ball won here by Spanstra. Took it off the feet of Cathro. Now rolled into the box. Desperate clearance by Samantha Cheng, but only as far as Spanstra. Now Tagliaferri makes it 5. Two goals in second half stoppage time for the United States. I thought at the time Sophia Smith would be the last. It was not. Frankie Tagliaferri adds to her total for the tournament.
Well, and again, just good movement off the ball. First of all, you have teammates finding each other. Spanstra does a good job drawing in 2 defenders. The Canadian team, the defenders get caught almost ball watching. Tagliaferri does a good job creating an angle, a passing lane for her teammate to find her, and they just slot it home.
Tagliaferri now has 5 goals in this tournament, and she gave the United States their 5th today in what is now officially a final. And off they go to Jordan. Next stop is the contest against Mexico.